in Web3, trust is everything, right? And it's not easy to be. In this industry, you cannot really depend on what you already know. You need to keep learning, keep exploring. And when it comes to blockchain industry, you need to learn, you need to read, you need to adapt, you need to evolve. That it's the cool blockchain is about quick profits. No, it's about the technology. It's about the future.
Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Sym, and I'm the head of content here at Unlimit, and this is our Journey to Success series, and I'm so excited to have this conversation with you today. I would love if you could please just kick us off by introducing yourself, your journey, and your path so far that has shaped your role into becoming Director of Strategic Partnerships at CoinW.
It's nice to meet you, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. My name is Monika Mlodzianowska. I'm a Director of Strategic Partnerships at CoinW. I just recently switched to this role. At the beginning, I joined CoinW as a business development executive, but later on, I will explain how I went from business development executive to head of strategic partnerships. And my journey with blockchain kind of starts with GameFi. That was my first ever role. And funny enough, at that time, I had absolutely zero idea about blockchain or anything really. No NFTs, no tokens, just a pure passion for the games. Thanks to my team back then, I learned quite a lot, starting the whole journey, which later on led me to additional position in one of the white label solution provider, which gave me a very deep and wide experience on how exchanges and wallets work like behind the scene, right? Which later on led me to CoinW. And at CoinW, I start as a BD, right? Pretty much just working on the partnerships with the KOLs. And then later on, I move on to more of the strategic partnerships, which ended up as a head of strategic partnerships. And right now I'm working with KOLs still, communities, institutional companies, and any kind of like brand related as well partnerships.
Amazing. That sounds like such a phenomenal growth journey in quite a short space of time. That all comes from a passion that you had. Like you said, like you didn't have like professional and technical knowledge, but you just absolutely loved gaming. Is that right?
Yeah. I was a gamer a long time ago, and I was also a streamer in some point.
Really?
When I got the chance to join the gaming studio, I didn't know what's play to earn. I just know we're gonna do the games, okay?
Wow, that's amazing. So what was your main game of choice?
At that time, I really enjoyed our project game, which was called Rebelant. And it was really funny, like battlefield kind of game, and it somehow reminded me a little bit of like League of Legends because of like the strategic planning of the tactic, right? Like how to defeat your enemy and actually get this token, right? Because the cool point was to earn the tokens, so then later on you can exchange them for the USDT, right?
Yeah,
I didn't even know at that time. I didn't know that you can play and actually, get paid for that.
That's really interesting. So, I mean, that kind of was my next question for you. So, like, it sounds like gaming was your inspiration, which led you into exploring blockchain and crypto a little bit more to build your career. But how did you know that rather than it being an interest, you actually wanted to pursue it professionally?
So actually, when I started learning more about blockchain, I realized how much of freedom and ownership blockchain brings, right? And I'm not talking about like just financially. I'm talking about like creativity, like building the communities, and you can pretty much do so many different things, right? Which it's not like typical financial industry. It gives you so many possibilities. And I was always kind of like looking for the industry that are not really like status quo, like I was always wanted to do something different. So when I find out that I can actually build a career in the blockchain industry, I just put all of my cards on it.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so lovely that it was something that was a passion of yours. and then you were able to transform that into your career. That's such a wonderful journey.
I didn't expect it to end up in the crypto exchange. But like the more experience I was gaining, I realized that also like crypto exchanges are the main guys, pretty much like a bridge between it, right? Between all like kind of like non-financial, standard financial to the Web3, right? So that's why I decided at the end that being in a crypto exchange and having this opportunity to actually build something meaningful, it's actually the way to go.
Yeah, no, that's really poignant. That's really lovely. Thank you. I mean, obviously having this growth that you have had in your career, and you've mentioned already that you were a streamer even before entering like the crypto space, but I've seen that now you're running lots of live sessions that you're streaming. You have these AMAs, these amazing presentations. And I just wanted to know what sort of advice you would share with people who are trying to build their own confidence, for public speaking or community engagement, because I think lots of innovations and ideas are out there, but people maybe don't have the confidence to speak about them.
I would say when it comes to confidence, it's about being authentic and in the same time of being prepared. I always, when I go on the stage or when I'm doing AMAs, I always put it in a way like it's a conversation. I don't have to prove anything. I'm just going there. I'm having a nice conversation with people, right? I'm being truly myself. It's not about being perfect, right? Previously, I did struggle at the beginning. I struggled a little bit with that. I was maybe even a little bit scared of judgment. But to be honest, if it comes to advice, I will say, as long as you are fully yourself and you know what you're talking about, when you're sharing something that you truly care about, the energy just flows, and it becomes really simple. So like what I'm usually doing, I'm always, whenever I get the topic of the AMA or live session or panel or something, I read everything about it. I'm focusing on reading every single detail. So when I'm actually going on the stage, I know. I just know, I cannot be surprised or something, because that's another thing that I feel like a lot of people are worried about, is just this surprise questions or something. But when you're fully prepared, you don't have anything to worry about, right? So general advice, be you. No one is judging you for being you. Like no one has the right, or at least you shouldn't worry about that. Prepare yourself before, so you are fully confident in your knowledge, and just be authentic. It's like, I feel like the more you're doing it, the easier it becomes as well. So just practice, just improve, learn your mistakes, and just get your lessons out of it.
Yeah, that's true. Like they always say that practice makes perfect. But I love the idea of actually not placing too much focus on the fact that it's something that's live or with like a large audience, and instead just let me be like the best expert that I can in what I need to talk about, or the message and mission that I'm trying to get across, and everything from that will flow. I think that's really wonderful advice. But now with these tangible activities that you're doing to build like engagement and knowledge, like these AMAs, these live stream sessions, how do you see these like particular activities actually shaping credibility and trust in Web3? Because I know that we still see apprehension and concerns around that.
As we all know, in Web3, trust is everything, right? And it's not easy to build. But through doing this AMAs, this live stream, going out on the stage, I feel like we're showing people that we are humans too, okay? So behind this company that you are following, behind this project, there is a same person like you, right? And when we being open, like for example, on the AMA sessions and people asking you questions and you answering them straight away, honestly, the transparency, the credibility, it's built just on that, right? That we are showing up and we are consistent with that, and we are being completely transparent. So these sessions are very important. In my opinion, this is building your own community, the organic true community, right? So yeah.
No, that does make sense. I think because like you said, so many people also maybe don't have the full understanding. So you're not only providing understanding, you're providing a human face that is sharing this information, sharing this knowledge. So that makes absolute sense. How do you stay ahead in terms of your skill set then and your knowledge, and adapt to these new narratives, whether it's in like DeFi, NFTs, like gaming integrations, not only for your own like career, for your own knowledge, but also so that you can relay these to other people during these like sessions that you're holding?
In this industry, you cannot really depend on what you already know. You need to keep learning, keep exploring. And like, I'm more of the learning through doing kind of person. So for example, I will try when I see a new coin, obviously I will do my research on that. When I see a new project, new platform, new DeFi protocol or something, I will try it out. The same with the GameFi projects. I will try the project beta, right? So I understand how they work. And of course, I read a lot. I follow a couple of KOLs myself. I found the similar values, let's say, similar vision or passions or understandings, right? So I can get this knowledge. Of course, you also have like live events, and I mean like conferences and so on, which is a great place to learn all the new, let's say, new heights, new projects, and so on. And I think what is very important, which took me a little bit to learn, it's to not being afraid to ask questions. Because previously I was like, when I couldn't understand something, I wouldn't say anything. Okay. I will research it after some time, right? But sometimes it excludes me from the conversation because I was too afraid to ask the question. And it's nothing wrong with that, you know? I think when you're learning something new, it's really valuable to actually ask questions. So how does it work? And what its meaning behind it, like how it's supposed to help the industry grow, like how is it different, right? And then when you actually understand how it works, you'll be more confident in the conversations as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is such an interesting thing because I think when people reach certain levels in their careers, whether it's managerial, above, it doesn't matter what level. I think sometimes maybe people do think that they shouldn't asking people questions because they worry that it's something silly or but it's not. And I completely agree because I've done it myself where sometimes you actually just need somebody to explain it to you because you can read as much as you want, but you've watched things about it, but sometimes things are just easier when you're communicating with people, which is also why it's great to have such a strong network and understand these things.
Absolutely. And it's funny enough because I met a lot of people, you know, and they always say like, oh, you know, I didn't really understand him, like what he mean. And I'm like, okay, so why you didn't ask? Like, you should ask. If you cannot understand that and you don't ask, then okay, you can research it yourself like I was doing. But then at the same time, I still sometimes didn't get it, you know? So when you speak with someone for the first time about like new project, of course, except for this person who presents the project, no one else is supposed to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really that simple. And then you get the chance to speak with this person. You get the chance to ask this question to understand completely how it works. But yeah, it takes time, you know, and especially when people are a little bit shy, which is also completely normal, right? It comes with age, it comes with responsibilities and so on, right? When you grow as a person, which is also part of this amazing industry because that can grow a lot as a person.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you sort of mentioned about sometimes people maybe don't understand or they are too scared to ask the question. From your experience being so very much like on the ground when it comes to things like blockchain and crypto, what would you say are some of the biggest and most common misconceptions that people have about the spaces?
I feel like the biggest misconception is just that it's the cool blockchain is about quick profits. Everyone thinks like the moment you entering the blockchain that people are focusing only on the tokens and it's just quick profits. No, it's about the technology. It's about the future, you know, behind it. It's also our responsibility being in this industry to actually teach people why blockchain is important and not just how to manage it. The other thing is that it's hard to access blockchain, like the cool technology. It's like super complicated and hard. So again, like it's up to us, people who already, let's say, been in the industry for a couple of years, or like are more advanced when it comes to blockchain. It should be our responsibility to teach people that it's really that simple, to for the companies to make their platforms really accessible and easy, right? So more people can engage into the whole industry. So I think that's like two biggest misconceptions about crypto and blockchain industry.
Yeah, sure. And how do you feel that organizations that are leading the space and like are dominant in the space can help build greater trust and understanding of crypto and blockchain and basically reverse those misconceptions?
I feel like it comes to education and like communication. I would say sometimes even myself, when I read something, let's say on Twitter, and the language sounds so complicated that it gets me stunned, I'm like myself, like, what does it mean, right? So I feel like the communication should be clear, should be honest, and the education, again, like I feel like education in the whole blockchain industry should be the main point, to teach people how and why and pretty much like what is it for us in the future, right? Not just right now, not this hype, this quick chases and so on. Why we need blockchain and how it's gonna define the future of all the finances, the future of ownership, right? Of security. But like do that in a very clear, a very simple language. Like you don't have to put all the, let's say, words to communicate something. Put it very simple. I feel like everyone thinks that when it comes to users or people interested in blockchain, everyone is advanced or native English speaker, which is obviously not the case, right? Like not everyone speaks English as a main language, right? So the more complicated you put it out there, the harder for them is to understand what you exactly mean, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's a very significant point, because I absolutely think when we look at any of the financial spaces and services, so much of what the mission and drive is about accessibility and inclusivity. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's something that is so needed, and you can see so many organizations driving such significant impact. But what you said resonated with me so much, because you're so correct in saying, actually, also, even the education needs to be accessible and inclusive. So like boiling it back. And of course, there is so much smart innovation in technology that is building these solutions. But is there a way that we can educate people in a way that's not going to confuse them and maybe shows that innovation, but we're explaining it in a way that is actually digestible to people? And I think that's something that people are still learning to do. So that's fantastic, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. It should be very simple, very clear. There is no need for the complication. Same with the education. And as a non-native English speaker myself, right? I can tell you that whenever I explain to my friends or to my family about blockchain, I can put it in a very simple word and they understand, right? I don't have to complicate it. That's it.
Yeah. And that also comes back to what you were saying earlier about just focus on your expertise. Like, you know the product, you understand the space, and that's why you're able to relay that information and communicate that information. So absolutely. What I would love to also know is sort of like a nugget of information for people watching the series. And that's more about you have spent a lot of time and energy and resource within yourself building your credibility, your experience, having that knowledge. So what advice would you share with other professionals who would love, or if they're in a startup and they want to build their own credibility and grow within the crypto and blockchain community space?
I feel like again, it comes to being authentic and actually stick to your values. Like for me personally, I do care about, let's say, security. I do care about the future, right? So I do care about the innovations and how I myself as Monica can impact the industry. Like how can I impact future of the people as well, right? So most of the time I focus on that, right, and find my ways on how to do it, which means I'm staying true to myself, and people whenever they speak to me or listen to me, they know exactly that this is where I'm going, and that's my values, and that's my morals, right, let's say, right, and I'm just following that. So you need to just be transparent. You need to be honest and slowly build this trust. You need to show up and you need to be consistent on showing up, right? It cannot be like just a random out of nowhere, like, oh, this day I'm here, the next day I'm gone, right? So building credibility, it's not something easy. Like you need to show people why they should trust you, why you are doing what you are doing, right? And that kind of puts you in a position, let's say, where you need to be a little bit more open towards people, be more honest. That it's a little bit against human nature, let's say. But still, at the same time, you need to break it. Like you need to show, like I'm here, like I'm here to help you, for example. I'm here to explain it to you, right? I'm here to give you a solution. And why you should trust me? Because this is something that I personally experienced, right? This is something that I spent a long time to learn. But only when you're being consistent, you can actually prove it.
Yeah,
I
that's
know it exists, but
no, it does. It does make a lot of sense. And it is just through experience, it's through that immersion. So that absolutely does make sense. No, thank you. Would you say like you have a top tip, like aside from the authenticity, on what people could maybe do? Is it practice? Is it reading? Is it what else could it be?
so when it comes to blockchain industry, you need to learn, you need to read, you need to adapt, you need to evolve everything you want. Okay, you let's say you cannot learn if you don't even try, if you don't even do your research. Every single time I read through social media or something, even one word, let's say, last time it was LPC wallet.
Okay.
I wanted to learn more, like what is MPC wallet, how does it work, and why it's so popular. Okay, I did my full research for like 4 or 5 pages because I always save it in my Word document just so I can, in any case, I can always come back, remind myself. So I save it, all the information, and I read through it like couple of days in a row just so have it in my mind. What is it? How it works, right? But it's more about like researching to have this like will to learn, right? Because I want to improve the future. I want to be more involved in the conversations. I want to expand my knowledge to my best. So then like later on, I can also be fully confident explaining it to people, right? That I'm trying to include into blockchain industry, right? So it's more about like your own like will to be better, to do better, to know more.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Thank you. That is very true. If you have a passion for it and if you're building yourself, your rapport, your space, that like desire and that will to learn is very important. So thank you. I'm already on my last question for you, and it's quite a generic one that I have for people, but I love it because it brings up so much for professionals that have been on their journey for a while. And it is simply just, how do you define success?
Are we speaking or more like professional or personal level, or you want both?
It can be both. I would love both. It can be one or the other. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
So when it comes to professional, let's start with that. For me, the success doesn't really show in titles or the numbers per se, let's say. It's more about like bringing a change. I always wanted to somehow have like some kind of impact in the future and actually help people around me. So for me, when it comes to professionally, the fact that I can grow with this industry, the fact that I can help people around me grow as well, the fact that I can help people educate them so they can also have this kind of success in the future, right? This is part of my professional success. When I hear that my team, let's say, do something meaningful, right? Or even at the point of view when we're reaching new milestones, and I know that I was part of this process, it's already success for me, you know, even the fact that I was involved. And the same when I'm going down the stage and someone is telling me, somehow what you said on the stage inspired me. For me, it's a success, right? My personality, my persona was able to inspire someone. And for me, it's already successful, right? I don't know, maybe it's because I'm still quite young and still in my learning phase, let's say. Even more this kind of comments or something there, even more meaningful for me. And I already am pretty satisfied. And I would say I am successful just because I have people around me who I was able to help and inspire. And that's something very important for me. As for more personal level, I would say the growth and staying authentic to myself, to stay within my values. This is something that I found as a success, to find a balance between also work and my family, my friends, and so on. This is something that I would consider success. Again, staying true to myself, just staying true to my values, which is pretty much being able to help people, and in the same time just value the security, my own growth, right? And yeah, I would say that's more or less about the success for me.
Yeah, no, thank you for being so honest and for sharing. I think it's really lovely. And I love the fact that you're able to express your own personal like drives and morals through your work as well. And considering the space that you're in, being around like blockchain and crypto, I think having that desire to create impact, to educate, to share, to knowledge share, it's something that will be really significant in the evolution of the industry as well. So that's really lovely. So thank you.
I'm actually trying my my best, you know, to kind of show that I'm also not the person to just chase the hype or something, even like loyalty to when it comes to the product, even, and so on, right? Just trying, you know.
Yeah.
It's not been easy. It's not been easy, you know. Previously, I did really have this time of let's say weaknesses, where when I truly thought that maybe I'm not exactly designed for this industry because of amount of knowledge I had to gain within like very short time period. Because obviously when I start working for blockchain, working for GameFi, it wasn't easy, you know, the amount of knowledge, and it made me doubt a little bit in myself, in my capabilities. But obviously, the moment I actually start learning, I feel like blockchain itself gives me so much empowerment that I do believe that I can, in this industry, I can do everything I want. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. No, that's such a powerful note to end on. So thank you. I won't dilute it any further, but Thank you for being so honest, for sharing your journey with us and your knowledge. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you. And I'm just really, really grateful for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.